This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. I'm Kate Sharon. Noblesville-based not-for-profit Hands of Hope and the Contingent, a venture not-for-profit in Portland, Oregon, on Tuesday announced the launch of Every Child Indiana. The initiative, launched in conjunction with the Indiana Department of Child Services, is designed to recruit more licensed foster families and support families and those involved in child welfare throughout the state. Hands of Hope Executive Director Susie Roth said the goal is to reverse the idea of not enough in child welfare.
There's just been this not enough theme in the state of Indiana around child welfare. And our goal is really to turn the narrative around so that now there's going to be more than enough.
The effort is a collaboration involving 30 licensed foster child placement agencies and volunteer organizations to create a centralized network from which those in the child welfare space can find resources they need. Elise Nishala, a real estate investor and president of Boone County Council who ran for state treasurer in 2022, has been named the next comptroller for the state of Indiana. Nishala is the president of the Indiana County Councils Association, where she works with legislators on tax and fiscal policy issues. She is also chairwoman of the Association of Indiana Counties. Nishala, who will be sworn in December 1st, will replace Tara Klutz, who is stepping down from the position Thursday despite having more than 3 years left in her term. The former auditor for Allen County, who was appointed by Holcomb in 2017, said she was pursuing a private sector role, though she declined to say where she was going. More than 7 years in the making, a new diversion center at United Caring Services in downtown Evansville is now open for people who need help with substance abuse, mental health, and housing issues, and serves as an alternate option to jail and area hospitals during times of crisis. The 4-bed facility provides meals, laundry, showers, and case management services. Officer Mario Reed and Sergeant Joshua Brewer, who work in the Evansville Police Department's Crime Prevention Unit and are mental health and homeless outreach liaisons, said the diversion center fills a service gap. Brewer said this alternate solution will save money and time that law enforcement spends on repeat offenders who have substance use and mental health issues. The diversion center will also ease the burden on hospitals that have repetitive patients struggling with mental health and substance use. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to Engage Central Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. You won't want to miss our fireside chat with Governor Holcomb and the Michael A. Carroll Award presentation to Mitch Daniels. Plus, we'll dive into the important issues shaping the region's economy. It's December 6th at the JW Marriott in downtown Indy. RSVP at ibj.com/engage.
Indiana law firm Barnes & Thornburg has recently moved into a new office in downtown Elkhart. The company's move November 17th into its new office makes the law firm the latest in a number of local businesses setting up shop in Elkhart's growing River District development, a regional project that receives support from the first round of Indiana Ready grants. The firm's recent move across Elkhart County comes 3 years after another downtown relocation. The company became the anchor tenant of the Barnes & Thornburg building in downtown South Bend in late 2020. The 5-story, $20 million building was co-developed by Bald Mountain LLC, Norris Equity Partners, and Great Lakes Capital, and opened in 2020 as downtown South Bend's first new office building in a generation. Increasing resistance to new greenfield wind, solar, and storage development, as well as massive backlogs in the queues to connect new power projects to the grid, mean former mine lands and the plants that burn the coal they produced are increasingly attractive spots for new renewable development. IIB's Alex Brown has more.
Building solar on former mine land is picking up steam across the country, from West Virginia and Vermont to Ohio and Nevada. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency says there may be as much as 43 million acres of brownfields suitable for renewable power development. States can inventory the mine lands in their state and in some cases under their control, then analyze where nearby electric infrastructure is in order to gauge the possibilities for renewable power, said Nels Johnson, Senior Advisor for Renewable Energy at the Nature Conservancy's Climate Mitigation Program. Then they could explore whether redevelopment authorities could help turn brownfields into power projects by creating streamlined permitting processes and other incentives. Meeting decarbonization targets will require a build-out of electric infrastructure on the scale of the U.S. highway system, Johnson said, and it makes sense to find the least controversial sites for development. In Indiana, AES Indiana's Petersburg Generating Station has been burning coal to generate electricity since the late 1960s, but two of the power plant's its 4 coal-burning units have already retired, and the last will be shut down in 2025. An AES spokesperson said, quote, AES Indiana will be the first utility out of coal in the state. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Satanic Temple on November 22nd filed its notice of appeal to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. In an amended complaint filed in March, the temple argued SCA 1 interferes with its members' ability to perform the satanic abortion ritual. The case, initially filed in September 2022, alleges Indiana's then new abortion ban, known as Senate Enrolled Act 1, violates the state's Religious Freedom Restoration Act. The group also alleges the law violates the 5th Amendment, 14th Amendment, and 13th Amendment. SCA 1 prohibits abortion in Indiana except in limited cases of rape or incest, fatal fetal anomaly, or to protect the life or health of the pregnant woman. The law also eliminates licensed abortion clinics in the state and instead requires legal abortion procedures to be carried out in a hospital or ambulatory outpatient surgical care. Eric Fish, president and CEO of Schneck Medical Center in Seymour, has been selected to join one of the American Hospital Association's regional policy boards. The boards were created to provide input on critical public policy issues unique to their respective regions. Fish is joining the Regional Policy Board 5, which covers Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin. The AHA says the boards, which meet 3 times a year, foster, quote, communication between the AHA, its members, and State Hospital Association, and provide public policy guidance on issues considered by the AHA Board of Trustees. Soon-to-be retired news anchor Debbie Knox is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.